So you're thinking about relocating to Houston, you're in the right place. We're going to be going over the pros and cons to living here. I relocated here myself and I absolutely love it here. There are some downsides that you need to be aware of. We will be going over those. I've got some pro tips in the video. Stay tuned. Everything you need to know coming right up. My name's Gal Biederman. I'm proud to lead the premier relocation team here in Houston. Navigating a city that's as vast and dynamic as Houston can be overwhelming. It's crucial to find the perfect place to call home right from the start. Whether you're considering a move to our vibrant city or you're already in the process, I'm here to ensure your transition is smooth and seamless. If you have any questions or need guidance on finding your ideal home in Houston, don't hesitate to reach out. Your satisfaction is our top priority. We're here to help you every step of the way. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with the pros, and the number one pro, in my opinion, is the affordability. Houston is affordable, not only in terms of homes, but in terms of lifestyle as well. When you're looking at homes, you can start at $350,000 and get in a nice community in a place that you love. This is more or less what I spent, and the amenities here are amazing. I bought a home for this price that also has a pool and a separate 2-car garage, and I absolutely love it. We help people all the time. They have budgets of $700,000 and more, and then the amenities truly become boundless. You can get awesome homes. Also, when you're going out, whether it's a nightlife or restaurants, it's all affordable here. The number one advantage, in my opinion, is no state income tax. The state, however, does make up for this in property taxes. I have a whole separate video on this, but the no state income tax, depending on where you're coming from, this can be very beneficial. The affordability for me is the number one reason to consider Houston. Number two, the fun things to do. It's never a dull moment in Houston. My kids have become spoiled since we moved here. If we just want to hang home a weekend and just chill out, or even if we take one day of the weekend and we just want to hang out around the house, my kids are like, this is boring. What are we going to do today? Now, there is so much to do. Houston has a museum district, for example. The museums here are awesome, whether you're looking for science, arts, culture. They have the Holocaust Museum as well. Then they have a children's museum. This is your first pro tip, actually. The museums are free on Thursdays. There's other ways to get in free too. One of the other ways is if you have a Bank of America card, all you have to do is show your Bank of America card every first full weekend of the month, and then the museums are free. We have year passes for the Children's Museum. They absolutely love that one. It's a little bit of science in there for them, and it's just a lot of fun for them. The other thing we have is the year passes for the zoo. The zoo is awesome. They recently opened a Galapagos Island part of the zoo, which is amazing. They made it very beautiful, and the kids love going to the zoo. They have very nice parks nearby that in the summer also have splash pads, and it's nice to even just discover that area. It's right next to the museum district, and we will do multiple things in one day. They opened up a Houston interactive zoo and aquarium. We bought our season passes for this. We love this one because the kids can interact and hold all of the animals there. Sometimes it's a bit intimidating, even for me, when some of these animals come up to you, but it is loads of fun. Whether you have kids or you just love the outdoors, the next one's going to be for you. The parks here are endless. There are so many parks to choose from. It's so green, and the nice thing is the weather here in Houston gives us the ability to go to the parks year round. In the summer, they can be a bit hot. I dress appropriately. I wear a hat and just keep the sun off me. Lots of sunscreen. And try to avoid it during the middle of the day. Cool down somewhere, have a drink, and it's completely manageable. But the amounts of parks you have here are amazing. My personal thing to do is visit these breweries or tap rooms. They are awesome. It's amazing the amount of space we have here in Houston. So some of these breweries also get really big and they'll have designated areas for the kids. They are spread across the city, and some of these breweries are also master at brewing. There's a few that do the brewing very well. Others don't brew so well, but they have amazing locations. Some of these locations are really great. One of my personal favorite in regards to location is the Lake Houston Brewery. They're right on the lake. It's a great place to see sunset. They've got live music there 3 or 4 days a week. And the nice thing is we can get there by boat, and it's so cool to just put the boat in the slip there, have a couple of drinks, maybe a bite to eat, chill out, hang out for a little while, and then cruise back. It is awesome. The brewing is done so well here in Houston, and you've got a few of these microbreweries that really know what they're doing. It's so good. Houston is a cultural hotspot. The amount of people and the ethnicities is truly incredible. I'm very involved with a lot of the foreign national chambers, and the amount of foreigners there are here, it's great. And it gets us to my next part, which is the food. I have lived in quite a few places, and I've never eaten as good as I have here in Houston. The variety of foods you have to choose from is truly incredible. One of my personal favorite is the Texas the Texas cuisine, which would be barbecue. The barbecue places they have here are pretty incredible. There's two that kind of go neck on neck with for me, which is Truth Barbecue and the Pit Room, and they're both pretty incredible. There are tons of other places that are really good. It's mouth-watering stuff. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But also besides the barbecue, there's a bunch of Asian cuisine. The Mexican food's really good. And it's incredible. It's incredible. The amount of food you have here is literally incredible. The next one is for the ladies. The shopping here is endless. Whether you're going to the malls or looking for designer clothing or furniture shops, it is literally endless here. There are so many places to visit that go for shopping. My wife loves going out to the Woodland malls. Next to the Woodland malls, they have a Market Street. The Market Street there is actually quite nice. This is mostly high-end stuff. It's super nice to visit. Sometimes she'll pick up something. And it's a nice place to hang out. They have a grassy area for the kids to hang out at. I usually grab a drink or something to eat, and it's perfect. But if you're looking for shopping, you're definitely going to find it here in Houston. There's a lot of outlets you can go to, and it is literally endless. There's a ton of farmers markets here in Houston. We love visiting them. It's great with the family. It's nice to just walk around and see what we can find and be a little bit creative in regards to ingredients. The other thing we also like is the flea market. There's the Sonny's Flea Market, which is really nice. It's like going into South America, and the food, the culture there, it's really cool. Fun place to hang out with the kids. They also have a little fair going on there, which is nice. And in one of the bigger buildings, there's a nightclub that's fully active during the day, and you can just go in, get a couple drinks, and do a little bit of dancing with the family, and it gets really fun. Especially for the kids, they'll never have to be bored here. Houston is a mecca in terms of kid activities. You've got water parks. Kima has a big park out there. The beaches are awesome. We've already mentioned the splash pads, the parks. They're gonna absolutely love Houston like my kids do. We go on holidays. After a few days, sometimes they're like, hey, let's get home, because they know they've got plenty of things to keep them busy here. The third pro I'm gonna name is the weather. It can definitely be a con if you don't like the heat, but in my opinion, it's a pro because the winters are so mild and the weather here allows for year-round outdoor activities, which I absolutely love. I've mentioned before, I love the water activities, And I like getting on the lake, whether I'm wakeboarding, kayaking, supping, even swimming. It allows it pretty much year round. And for me, it's a massive win. It's a pro. I love the weather here in Houston. Another pro, if you're into sports, Houston is the right place for you. Houston is home to the Texans, which is the national football team here. People are fanatic about them. What's even more popular here is the Astros, which is the national baseball team here. And my son, he's only 6, and he is completely obsessed with them. We're yet to go to a game, but we'll be going there soon. I can guarantee it. The other thing that's nice is if you're into golf, there are plenty of golf spots to choose from. There's a lot of country clubs out here that offer great golfing. One of my personal favorite, only because I'm not a golfer, but I do like to go to the driving range. There's this place called Top Golf. They've got full bar service, and it's just fun to hit a few balls and get competitive with some friends. Now, yeah, I'm not good at all, so my balls veer all over the place, but it's quite fun to go to. Another pro Houston has is the education. Houston has its own independent school district. It's the biggest school district in Texas, the 8th largest in the nation. Thanks to this, a lot of the suburbs are home to some really great schools, whether it's high schools, elementary schools, middle schools. The public schools here are very good. On top of that, Houston has 2 very good universities, Rice University and the University of Houston, which are both very well accredited. So the education here is fantastic. The next pro is job opportunities. Houston is experiencing economic growth. The job opportunities here are literally endless. Whether you're seeking a career in healthcare, energy, aerospace, or the technology sector, there's a lot Houston has to offer. If you're moving to Houston, it's paramount that you find a home that you're going to love from day one. When we first moved here, we didn't know where to go. We moved into a place that was pretty terrible, and I was second guessing the decision we made. We now found an absolutely awesome community that we love. We love living here. We love being in Houston, and we want you to learn from our mistakes and get you into the right home directly. Reach out. We love hearing from you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. It's time to get into the cons. And the number one con is the weather. Even though I named the weather as a pro because of its mild climates and the outdoor activities you can do year round, the cons is the extremes of the weather. And it's not just the extreme heat that causes some rolling blackouts from time to time that I've experienced. And these rolling blackouts haven't lasted long. I've only, I think, maybe a handful of times I've experienced them for a maximum amount of around 30 minutes. But when that happens and the heat kicks off, so you go outside to maybe cool off in the pool, even outside it's not nice because everybody has an automatic generator. They kick on, and the amount of noise that comes from them is pretty crazy. And I could only imagine how bad that is when that goes on for maybe days or weeks at a time that my neighbors have experienced. Hurricane Harvey, for example, when that came around, these generators were on for a week or a week and a half at a time. And I can't imagine what it's like to have to live in a house not only without air conditioning because the heat's unbearable, but to escape outside and think, okay, we'll go outside, cool off a bit, and not cool off, but also have this noise just going on. I can only imagine what that's like. So you're dealing with the hurricanes, tornadoes, hail, flooding, and these are the things that definitely make Houston not a fun place. The number 2 con for me, only because I love the outdoor living, is mosquitoes. Mosquitoes here are terrible. They're literally unbearable. It's wild how many there are. They spray for them in the street. The community takes care of it, and it's definitely not enough. You're going to have to get used to continuously covering yourself with this mosquito spray. I've got neighbors who they're used to it, and they'll have 4 mosquitoes in their neck and face, and they don't even flinch. For me, they're terrible because when they get me, I also continue to itch. So I try not to scratch it, but it does stay itchy. And when the kids are out there playing, they get absolutely covered. The number 3 con is the traffic. The traffic in Houston is pretty terrible, but again, that's relative. I've experienced LA traffic, and LA traffic is much worse than Houston traffic. The main bottleneck here is getting in and out of the suburbs, and then if you're in the downtown area, and getting in and out of downtown can be very problematic. Due to the rapid growth, Houston doesn't have this infrastructure down right. And then another con that goes along with that is the lack of the public transportation. So it's very car dependent. And because of this car dependency, it just adds to the problem. There's much more traffic than needed, and the distances are vast. So if you're moving to Houston, get used to being in your car. The next con is air quality. The air quality is, in general, mostly good. Houston does have a lot of industries that do give off to some air pollution, and the traffic also contributes to this. The other problem is the amount of pollen that's in the air. Spring and fall, get ready to be sick here twice a year. If you don't suffer from this, I don't have it too bad, but even I get a runny nose. My wife, she's sick twice a year. She's going through it right now as well. There are some medicines you can take to mitigate this, but get ready for the air quality. This wraps up the video. If we missed anything, or you have any questions, or you want to see something in the future, please leave it in the comments. If you guys are considering moving to Houston and you guys have any questions or want to reach out to me personally, please do so. I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you.